Grief is a thin place. A place so thin, it's hard to tell where earth ends and heaven begins. Grief is a place so thin that it's where the living and the dead feel one another's love. I'm Lisa Hamilton, an Episcopal priest, and I grieve. First, I'll read some scripture that many Christians use in worship during Lent, and then I'll struggle with those words through the lens of grief. I'm glad you've joined me. Today's scripture is from John, chapter 8. Jesus said, "If you continue in my word, you are truly my disciples, and you will know the truth, and the truth will make you free." There was a time when my most prized possessions were china and crystal and silver and table linens. When my first husband Scott and I married, we registered for these beautiful things and enjoyed using them. We would add a wine goblet or a bread plate on special occasions, and I loved the silver serving pieces. I found a lot at thrift stores and tag sales. Even after Scott died, I continued adding piece by piece. By the time our son Ted died, some 25 years later, I could set a magnificent table for 12. And that was always my favorite part of entertaining. But part of the truth of Ted's death is that there will be no growing family, no grandchildren to gather at holidays. So I asked my friend Julie if she and her family could use and enjoy the china and all the trimmings. They were thrilled, and she sends me a picture each time they set the table for something special. It was bittersweet to ship the silver and china and crystal and linens several states away to Julie and her family, and I was grateful for my friend who helped me take everything to the pack and ship store. We worked as quickly as we could, sort of on the same theory you're used when ripping off a Band-Aid. But the oddest thing happened when Julie was unpacking. She called me. "I found a watch when I was unpacking." "A watch?" "Rolled up in one of the placemats so it would be safe, I guess." "Well, I don't remember a watch, but it's been a long time since I used all those placemats at once." "Lisa, you're not going to believe this, but the back of the watch says Zelda." "Zelda?" "Yes, Zelda, like your dog." I was stunned. Zelda is a standard poodle I got a few months after Ted's death. She has become great company, and she's my favorite topic of conversation, so you probably don't want to get me started talking about her. But I want you to know that she has a Z name because Ted named his Cairn Terrier, his 11th birthday present, Zippet Edward Doodah. Zippet died of old age in his sleep at almost 17, a few weeks before Ted passed. Ted and I had planned to sprinkle Zippet's ashes at the local dog beach that Thanksgiving when Ted came to visit. But by Thanksgiving, Ted was gone. When I confided to the funeral director that I wanted to place a small wooden box that held Zippet's ashes on top of Ted's wooden urn, she said she thought there was room inside Ted's urn. And so she held my son's urn open for me so I could place in it the ashes of his beloved Doodah. So maybe that gives you an idea of how important my bouncy, pretty Zelda May is to me. Back to the conversation with Julie. She went on, "Well, Zelda is also the name of a video game. Do you think Ted played it? Maybe a watch came with one of the games?" "Well, maybe." Julie sent me a picture of the watch, and sure enough, it says Zelda on the back. I don't remember it, but it's entirely possible that Ted or I had rolled the watch into the placemat for safekeeping during a move and then forgotten about it. Anyway, I look at that watch every day. And of course, I look at Zelda the poodle every day. And I think that part of the truth of Ted's death is that he's determined to stay in my life. Grief is a thin place.